Sunday and happy day 13 of Vlogmas. This morning, the first video went out, the Natasha Ocean one, where I revealed that I started to get sick. So thank you to everybody for your concerns in the comments and for your well wishes. I've gotten a lot of comments of just like, you can stop, like, you don't owe us anything. And I fully realize that. And if I was like on my deathbed, I would definitely be stopping. I just really hate when people make promises and then don't live up to them. I understand that things happen, but I do feel like I'm in a place where I can at least get something out without impairing my health. So I just want to say that I'm very thankful for everybody's concern, but I'm good and I'm being smart. If this was like 5 years ago, I would have made completely different decisions, but I'm a lot more careful with my health now. Maybe in like a story time video in the future, we'll do the story of how I got the flu, which turned into pneumonia, which then led into vocal nodules. Let's talk about today's workout. We are doing a workout from Rowan Row, who I'd never heard of. At a quick glance, yesterday when I was looking at his YouTube page, I couldn't really tell, like, is this a model? Is this a singer? Is this an influencer? I'm not exactly sure. There is a solid amount of clickbait and spot reduction content, which we have not discussed yet. So this will be a good learning opportunity today. I decided today because of the state of health that I'm in, but also for the learning experience, we're gonna do the 5-minute morning cardio routine to burn fat. And I really wanna discuss this idea of like fat burning workouts today. I did a whole video on the fat burning zone and why it's a myth. And within that video, I give like a very mathematical broken down example of why the fat burning zone actually doesn't make any sense. So you can go watch that video if you want to kind of get caught up there, because we're not going to super dive into that today. But today specifically, we'll talk about fat burning workouts in general, the claims being made in this workout, and why the science isn't really there. Let's talk schedule for the day. Once again, she's a beaut. We have nothing today except for the Eagles game at 8:30, which is honestly like late. I feel like I've been going to bed at 8 every night, so we'll see if I stay up to watch the whole thing. Aside from that, I do need to get some meal prep done for the week, and we've just been taking it easy. We've been doing like adult things, paying bills, calling our internet provider to try and get a lower price. We're paying off, this is fun news. You can fast forward to the next thing if you don't want to hear about this, but we're paying off the cruise that we're going on next year. So we're doing a 14-night cruise that leaves out of New York. It goes up to Halifax, then it goes up to Iceland. Then we have 2 stops in Ireland. We actually have an added stop now I just saw in England somewhere. We go down to France and then we end back in England. We're going to take the rest of the weekend in London and then we're going to fly back to New York after. So if you live in any of those places, please let me know. I cannot guarantee that I will see you, but especially if you're in the London area, I know one of my followers and I already connected and we're planning to do a little meetup. So maybe I'll do like an actual meetup in London and have like 3 people show up, but that'd be so fun regardless. It feels very like Carrie Bradshaw in Paris with her book party. So anyway, I'm going to put on some clothes, just feel a little bit more like ready to tackle the day. We'll do our meal prep, we'll do our workout, and we'll come back and talk about it. All right, we have some stuff to talk about. So we already talked about the title of the video. I want to look at the description to see if there's any more information that Rowan gives us. Rowan says this is a quick and effective everyday morning routine that takes only 5 minutes to burn and melt that fat off your body. Ugh. So from the title, description, and even the way that Rowan cues us during the video, it is clear that claims made are that this 5-minute routine will melt fat off your body. changing that angle a little bit. And it's just not really how it works. There is no such thing as a fat burning workout. Let's break down the basics first. When we work out, we do expend energy. But when we do anything, we expend energy. If we woke up late in bed all day and didn't move, we would expend energy. Now, that energy that we expend is measured as calories. Now, the way that we burn or lose fat from the body is by being in a calorie deficit, meaning that we are taking in less energy than we are expending. Can your workout aid in this? Absolutely. But there is no one type of workout that burns fat specifically. Some workouts you use more energy for, and some you don't. Typically, cardiovascular exercise, the higher your heart rate gets, you will expend more energy or use more calories. Something like strength training, your heart rate isn't going to get up as high, and so in that moment, you will not expend as much energy or use as many calories. Now, we already talked all about energy expenditure in the day 5 video, so I would definitely recommend watching that if you haven't already. But essentially, that is how we lose fat. Now, let's say maybe Rowan is going more of that route of, okay, well, this is a workout that keeps you in the fat burning zone. Like I said at the beginning, I already did a very specific video on that, but really to sum it all up, at the end of the day, if your goal is to lose fat, it doesn't matter whether you are using calories from fat or calories from carbohydrates. It comes down to the math equation at the end of it. Did you expend more energy than you took in? AKA, are you in a caloric deficit? That's it. So if you want to slap fat burning workout on top of any cardio routine that you put out there, it's going to say 2 things to me. Number 1, it tells me you don't really know what you're talking about. And number 2, it tells me that you don't really care about the people you say you're trying to help. Because all this type of content really does is continue to feed misinformation to people about the very basics of how their body works. And that is something that is one of my biggest pet peeves. Now, Rowan talked throughout the workout of like, do this every single morning, roll out of bed, jump right on into it. Number 1, I actually think like this is not necessarily something you should be doing when you first jump out of bed. Like to come out of an 8-hour sleep and jump right down and do push-ups without priming your shoulders or your core at all. Like, I don't think that's super smart. What I would actually propose doing for your morning routine is some mobility work. This can come down to a lot of different things, but one of the things that I like to implement are CARs or controlled articular rotations. This is essentially really controlled joint circles to help preserve the range of motion that you currently have in your joints. We have to remember that with our joints, if we don't use it, we will lose it. I do have a more in-depth video coming out in January all about my mobility, how I'm improving it, what I'm going to be implementing. So just keep your eyes peeled for that. But that is definitely more of the route that I would go. Whether your goal is to lose fat or not, that is a much better suited 5-minute routine for anybody rather than going right into jumping jacks, high knees, push-ups. Like that's just way too high intensity for if you've been laying down for 8 hours. So for science-backed, oh, by the way, we have to give it 2 scores, science-backed and enjoyment. For science-backed, I'm going to give this a 1. The only reason he's getting a point is because technically any workout could be a fat burning workout, I guess, because you are exerting energy. And like, yeah, if you did do this every single day for 5 minutes a day and didn't change anything else, like, yeah, eventually like you would be in a deficit. So I guess then you would be losing fat, but like, it's so silly. Let's talk about enjoyment. I will give him this. I love that he live cued us. I didn't love anything that he was really saying, but I love the effort. And like the movements themselves, nothing bad there. There's 5 exercises where I was like, yeah, I like all of these. I just don't like them when I roll out of bed and I don't like fat burning workout slapped on top of it. So the exercises themselves, I enjoyed. His reason behind them, didn't enjoy. And you know, with people like this, it's really hard to tell, like, do you believe what you're saying or are you trying to trick us? Like, are you ignorant or are you evil? For enjoyment, I'm going to give it, I don't know. I don't want to be like an asshole. I'll give it like a 2. Felt nice to move again. I will say that. Let's pick tomorrow's workout. All right, we're going in for the kill. Tomorrow's workout is my friend, Margaret Elizabeth. This is so perfect. Margaret is an internet friend of mine. If you watch this video, which kind of blew up, she's a Pilates instructor. I already know what I'm going to choose tomorrow. She has a series of workouts in her virtual studio that I have been dying to try, even though I'm not a Pilates girly, but music gets me motivated. So if you have a guess as to which workout I'm going to try tomorrow, leave it down below. Oh my God, I'm so relieved. Why am I crying? Oh my God. They're happy tears. Look, y'all, I am just really committed to doing this, and like, I don't want to cheat any of these days. I really don't want to take a gap day. There's obviously a lot of stuff that we can talk about without doing like a high intensity workout. So I think I just all of a sudden felt very like, oh, thank goodness, like very grateful that I can still do this tomorrow. So anyway, I'm blabbing. You've all been great, except for this one person who told me that my videos are getting shorter. So you can go screw yourself. We're gonna go edit this video so it is done. I can watch the Eagles game. Oh my god, I hope we beat the Cowboys. And I will see you all tomorrow. Good night.